in my personal experience, in the last few years, I've done a little bit more of CrossFit-y, high-intensity kind of workouts. And I've actually found that it's helped me in tremendous ways in my running and triathlon world. I've actually found, there's a big propensity in the endurance world to say, I need to be lean, I need to be skinny, I need to be light. Because, the lighter you are, the faster you'll run in theory. 100. My two worst Ironmans was when I was at my lightest, and probably my two best was not my heaviest, but kind of up around my heaviest. And a lot of that has to do with just like your musculature. Like Absolutely. The more you build your upper body musculature, the more you're running efficiently, the more you're maintaining your form, and the more you maintain your form, the more efficient you are throughout the period of a day. And that doesn't come by just running lots of miles and being skinny and being lean. You have to be strong. You have to be fit.
Absolutely. The biggest thing when any new member comes in here is we put them through a movement assessment. And the very first thing is assessing the core. Can they maintain stability in their core?
Everything's built out from there.
Everything's core to extremity. So from there is, can we pass these specific tests, holding plank in each of the side planks and the prone for 90 seconds. If we're not able to do that, we got some homework to do.
90 seconds is kind of a long time.
Yeah, but it does transfer.
Or I have a weak core, which is very possible.
It does transfer for the other things that we're looking to do. So if we're looking to move a barbell, are you putting yourself in the safest position possible to do that? Running, a little different because you're not holding load, but depending on the amount of intensity or the distance you're running, yeah, you're constantly putting load on your lower body and your core because everything else is following.
That's actually really, you see this in older triathletes a lot of times. As the day is wearing on, 15, 16 plus hour sort of days, you start to see a lot of people do what's called the Ironman Shuffle, where they just bent over at the hip. And
just moving
in a direction, and like their head is as high as their waist because they just can't support their body anymore. Which again, if you're running a marathon, 3, 4, 5 hours, the extent to which your core muscles will fail you is limited. But if you're out there 15, 16 hours, just holding yourself upright becomes a challenge, and you see it all the time. It happens at the end of every single marathon. And that's exactly what that is. It's an inability to do planks. It's a total weakness in your core, and athletes spend so much time focusing on their legs, and if you're swimming, it's focus on your arms, that you just miss the big meaty part in the middle. And it's such an important thing to focus on. And I think CrossFit's a really great thing for endurance athletes to use in terms of cross training. I think it's a really it can be really beneficial. In fact, if you're trying to up your aerobic capacity, I find this. There's only so many miles I can run in a week. When I start to hit the upper extremes of my miles, that's when I start to get hurt, especially as I'm getting older. And so what I need to do is then find another way to jack up the heart rate, for these maximal type efforts with minimal type of rest to work on my aerobic capacity. But I need to find ways to do that don't include running. Because again, just that pounding and pounding and pounding just destroys me. And doing, again, high intensity type CrossFit workouts, whether it's involving some sort of rower or an assault bike, has been really beneficial for me. I get that aerobic capacity, I get that aerobic output without the musculature damage that comes with high volume running.
Yeah, absolutely. And the assault bike is probably, it's the least risk for injury and has the greatest reward out of any of the machines.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's a guy that I do some workouts with every now and then. I'm the runner and triathlete. So, and he's like a CrossFit guy. He's been doing it a long time. Him and I can row pretty similar numbers. We can erg bike pretty similar numbers, and he crushes me on the assault bike.
It's
crushes me.
The power output.
Yeah, I just don't have it. I don't have the power. I can put out.
But if I asked you guys to go at a certain RPM for 60 minutes, my bet is that you'll hold it and he can't.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I'll take him down. I have to pull him. He's a good friend of mine. I have to pull him out and say, I have to come up with some challenge for him. He always gears, whenever we work out together, it's always a workout geared toward his strengths.
I'll give you a few.
I appreciate that. All right. So you also mentioned that you're actually working with a high-level swimmer at this gym. So somebody that's competing at a pretty high level is using CrossFit to cross train. Tell me a little bit about that process and what you utilize. What aspects of CrossFit are you utilizing to optimize her swimming performance?
Awesome. Yeah. So she's 39 years old. She was a competitive swimmer in college, and then she's had 2 kids. She's looking to get. She is competing again. She's competing in local events. She's going to be competing at nationals in April in Texas, and her real goal is when she's 40, in her early 40s, to be competitive with her times in a few different races. So she swims 5 days a week out of Eisenhower Park. She has a swim team, swim coach, and I train her 3 days a week in here. She also comes in another.
So she's 5 days a week swimming, 3 days a week here?
Yeah. So she'll double up some days. Mm-hmm. She has 1 to 2 off days, either just completely off or some active recovery, just moving on like the bike erg. So our days together are...
A bike erg, for those who don't know, is just basically a stationary bike.
It's a flywheel bike, yeah.
It just measures like your watt outputs and stuff like that.
And you can up the resistance of the damper. It's the same system as the rower. So Mondays, I have Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Mondays will be a engine type workout. We're going to move for 40 to 60 minutes straight. Just low intensity. Just she swims Sunday and Monday morning, so we want to just have sustainability.
Just
there.
her ability to perform full body work for 40
for a long
minutes,
period of time.
Right?
Yeah. Tuesday is all strength, so we're not going to do any lactic stuff. We're not doing engine stuff. We're just building strength, and whatever cycle I may have her on of upper body, lower body, or some combination of that. Making sure that we're doing both unilateral, so single leg, single arm stuff, and bilateral. So a lot of misconception is people think legs, let's squat, but if you can't lunge, you can't step up with a certain amount of weight, then your balance is off as well.
So this is a personal question for me. So are you saying that before you have somebody starting to do squats, you'll start them off with lunges, or or both? Or
I assess their ability to do single leg stuff before bilateral.
Interesting. Okay.
And
I've been struggling with
runner,
lower back problems, actually.
I'd have you do single leg stuff.
No shit. Okay. So I should steer clear of squats, at least until you're ready.
Single leg squats, lunge, step up.
Well, I would say like weighted squats,
right.
Back squats.
Yeah.
I struggle with those. I don't think my form is perfect, and I get a lot. I started suddenly doing, not suddenly, but I started incorporating more squat and deadlifts into my workouts, trying to, again, I've been struggling with some injury, trying to build the musculature to help protect my body from, again, the volume of miles that I've been trying to put in. I've been having some lower back problems, which I've always dealt with, but it's become a little bit more chronic lately. And I was initially blaming the deadlifts for the lower back pain, which could possibly be, but I'm starting to think that it's more of the squats that I've been doing. And again, I think it's more of a form issue for me than anything else. But it's maybe I should be doing more like lunges and single leg.
We can go over some stuff in the gym.
There we go. 6 o'clock class. This is what we'll talk about.
Yeah. So Tuesdays are strength focus day. Sometimes she'll feel like, and this is with any class, if it's just a strength focus day, they'll say, "Oh, we didn't get a workout." Yeah, you did. You got the stimulus for the day. Not every day is going to be high intensity. Not every day is going to be a long aerobic piece. And then Thursday is the pain train. Let's use the assault bike. Let's use the sled. Let's get very uncomfortable. And those are the days that are not so much fun, but super effective, and they have the most results, and you can see it transfer well to the actual sport.
Sure. So it sounds to me like the 3 days you're giving her are, again, one. It sounds to me like a lactic effort, some sort of muscular endurance, just again your ability to do work over extended periods of time. Then you just have a straight up anaerobic strength workout, and then you have this aerobic capacity workout,
right?
Which is, I mean, the three big,
exactly
the three
what
measures of
everybody.
fitness. Yeah. That's interesting. And then she's obviously doing, probably some versions of those three disciplines in her swimming.
Absolutely.
And I would imagine she's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
So what would you do anything different, or how different would it be if you were training somebody for specifically, let's say, running?
It'd be pretty similar.
Or better question, have you dealt with runners, and do they come in with, again, they have like the aerobic capacity that you're talking about, but are there things that they tend to be weaker at in CrossFit as a result of their running careers?
Yes. A lot of people that do come in and do either triathlons or run specifically, they do find themselves to stay out of the gym more often when the weather's nicer, which is not necessarily something that I suggest. The combination of both is very effective, and using the gym to
throughout
work
the
on,
year,
throughout the year,
not just periodizing,
not just saying, all right, I'm gonna
the winter.
Yeah. And some people just feel the need to, oh, I'm just gonna run every day now that it's warmer out. But having that healthy combination can be very effective. But everyone also has their own specific goals individually. And another thing I was just talking about the other day with my business partner is there's a number of people that are goal-oriented, result-oriented, and then there's others that are just process-oriented. They love the journey. They don't care about that end result. They just love the journey.
Who do you enjoy coaching more?
I enjoy being a goal-oriented person. I enjoy coaching goal-oriented people because
you'll keep the process people longer.
Yeah, and they enjoy it so much that they're always looking for the process.
Mm-hmm.